Okay, so here we have our predictions for the Big Ten in 2017. We'll take a look at the best teams in the conference, and we'll decide whether or not they will surpass Las Vegas's win total set for them. The 10th best team in the Big Ten, in my opinion, will probably be the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think Iowa has some talent on defense, but a lot of inexperience at quarterback and receiver. They have good talent at running back. I think the Hawkeyes go under the 6.5 mark set. I think the ninth best team in the Big Ten probably will be the Michigan State Spartans. I think the Spartans also will go under a 6.5 mark. A lot of questions. They don't have last season they had a lot of experience back. This year they seem to lack that experience. It's an unproven team. You don't want to doubt the Spartans, but I think they go under 6.5. The eighth best team in the Big Ten this fall will probably be the Hoosiers of Indiana. I think Indiana goes over the 5.5 mark set by Las Vegas. There's a lot of talent to like on this team. You get Richard Lago back at quarterback, Nick Westbrook and Simi Cobbs at receiver, and a defense that's led by Tagari Scales and Rashard Font. I think the Hoosiers go over 5.5, but they don't quite break through against Penn State, Michigan, or Ohio State. I think the seventh best team in the Big Ten this fall probably will be the Minnesota Gophers. I think Minnesota has an easy schedule. I don't think that'll help them get over the 7.5. I think they go under 7.5. Probably will win 7 games. An easy schedule. One of your crossover opponents, Michigan State. I think it's a winnable game. I think Minnesota under 7.5, but a good enough schedule to get to 7 wins in PJ Fleck's first season. The sixth best team in the Big Ten this fall probably will be the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The mark set at 6. I think they go over 6 fairly easily. Tanner Lee at quarterback, the Tulane transfer, I think, might be an upgrade over what Tommy Armstrong provided a year ago. A defense that's talented. I think Mike Riley gets them over the 6-win mark. The fifth best team in the Big Ten, I like the Northwestern Wildcats, and I like them to go over the 7-win mark. I think Clayton Thorson back at quarterback. I think he has a chance to be an NFL quality quarterback, come up on the scene a lot like Mitch Trubisky a year ago. I think Northwestern surprises some people. They're going to be Wisconsin's biggest threat. Thorson, Justin Jackson, Pat Fitzgerald, the head coach. I like Northwestern over 7 fairly comfortably. The fourth best team in the Big Ten this fall might be the Michigan Wolverines. There's a lot to like on this team in terms of talent. Jim Harbaugh, a terrific head coach, but there are a lot of question marks, namely experience. And also, they have to go to Wisconsin and to Penn State this fall. I think that could stop them a little bit. I think they push 9. I think they lose Wisconsin, Penn State on the road. Ohio State comes into Ann Arbor and wins. I think they probably push 9. Wisconsin's our third best team in the Big Ten this fall. I think they'll go over 9.5. They're strong on both lines. The toughest crossover opponent they have to face this fall, the Michigan Wolverines. That game will be at home. Question marks for this team are at quarterback. Alex Hornibrook, a little unproven still, and questions about whether or not they have enough playmaking at receiver. I think the Badgers go over 9.5, mainly because the schedule sets up very well for them. The top 2 in the Big Ten, again, just like the ACC, just like the Pac-12, just like the SEC, just like every conference this year, is extremely close. You have Ohio State and Penn State. I think the Buckeyes finished second this fall. I think there's a lot of good things about them. The defensive front 7 is going to be really good. The defensive line, most specifically, you have Nick Bosa back, Tyquan Lewis back, Sam Hubbard back, Draymond Jones back. I think the Buckeyes are strong up front. You have an experienced quarterback in JT Barrett. I think they have 2 running backs this fall, Mike Weber and J.K. Dobbins, a true freshman. The problem with the Buckeyes is they have a difficult schedule where they have to play Penn State, Michigan, and Oklahoma out of conference. But the good news is Penn State and Oklahoma, probably their 2 toughest games, both come in Columbus. I think the Buckeyes win 11. I think they split those games. The over set at 10. The line set at 10. I think they go over. They win 11 games. And that means the number 1 team in the Big Ten this fall, the Penn State Nittany Lions. I think Trace McSorley on offense, Saquon Barkley running the football, an offensive line that is vastly improved from the days of Bill O'Brien, a defense with some playmakers. Grant Haley returns. Jason Kabinda returns. The main question for this team, whether or not they can find 2 defensive ends to replace Garrett Sickles on one end. I think Penn State, the line set at 9.5. I think they go well over the line to 11-1 or 12-0. I think Penn State wins the Big Ten this fall, leaving no doubt, as they did a year ago, when Ohio State got the spot into the playoff.